How's it? Today we are learning about Google Spreadsheets and how to set up a grade sheet with different types of formulas. And speaking of grades in school, why can't you give a math test in the jungle? Because there are too many cheetahs. And speaking of the jungle, what's a snake's favorite subject? It is history. And with that, we will begin. What you're going to do first is put semester 1 grade sheet. And what you can do is Command A, Command C, and double click into your title and paste it. And then delete semester 1. We're going to put grade sheet tutorial. Then you put your name and your first name, last name, then first name with a comma. We're going to skip a row. And we are going to put in B4, notice B and then 4, just like in Battleship. You're going to put QU1 and then QU2. And if we wanted to continue this, you can just drag it out like that and it will continue out. Again, I just dragged on that little square out. But we're only going to do a semester, so there's only 2 quarters in a semester. Next, you're going to list your classes for the day. So your first period, second period, third period, fourth. So let's see, I had algebra 1, first period, world history, second, Spanish 1, and then computer class. Okay, what we're going to do is just make up and put in some grades. They don't have to be accurate. So algebra 1, let's just say you had a 95, put 0.95. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put all of these, select quarter 1, quarter 2 rows, and we're going to make them into a decimal. So, change a decimal into a percentage. So you can go into here, percentage, and you'll see it says 95% with the zeros. We don't want those zeros. We're going to go to format number. And we're going to go to more formats, custom number format. And in that, we're going to delete those 2 percentage and that so now we just get 95%. So now when we enter in a number, let's say we had 88% there, it's already a percentage point. But if we type in something else in another cell that we didn't use, it's a normal number. So let's keep on going with our grades. Okay, once we're done with our grades, let's go ahead and get our semester average. To get our semester average, we're first going to start with total. And we're going to get the sum, okay, of these numbers. So you go ahead and hit sum, and then we're going to combine those and hit enter. Now we have to divide it by 2. So we're going to put semester, and then here we're going to put, okay, equals. Okay, always when you do a formula, start out with equals, and we're going to click on this 182, which is D5, and it shows D5 right here in the function category, and we're going to divide that by 2. And now we should get our grade, but again, notice that's not percentage. A shortcut, if you want to apply the same formatting for the percentage, you can just click on one that's already a percentage, hit the format painter, and then go ahead and paint that, and it'll be the same. Okay, so another shortcut, instead of doing the equation each time for the totals, okay, instead of going here and putting sum each time, you can just click here and then drag that right down, and it automatically puts the sum of those 2. If you look at the equation a little bit better, see it says B5, C5 right here, and then if you click on this one, it says B6, C6. So when you drag down the equation, it drags down the number. So see B5 and then B6 and so on. If you drag the numbers across, it's going to go the opposite. It's going to go B, then E, then F. So those are going to be copied across. So go ahead and do the same thing. Drag that across. And notice, let's say we change our Spanish grade to a 94, or just change one of your grades. And you'll notice the sum and the semester will change as well with that. So it's all linked together. if you would have just had a number here typed in the average, that wouldn't have been the case. Like it wouldn't have automatically calculated it. Now, we don't need this total anymore, so we're just going to hide that column. You can't delete it because then our equation is linked to it, and then that would disappear. Let's go ahead and bold, Command B to bold our titles. Now, let's see if we can find our average grade. Okay. So what was our average grade for these? So to average, you hit your formulas and you hit average, and then you're going to just select, click and drag down, select the grades that you want to average. And notice it says B5 colon. Colon means a widespread unit of cells, and that cells goes to B8. And then we're going to hit enter. So notice our average was a 94%. Then let's see what our highest grade was. Now to get our highest grade, we're going to come here and put max, and it's automatically going to tell us what our max grade is. Now don't include the average, only the computer class or the classes there. So our highest was a 99%. Now let's find the lowest. Okay, and lowest we can go min and drag those and hit enter. Now let's see how many total classes we had. Okay, for total classes we're going to use count, and we're going to use this, and it's obviously going to be 4. Now what we can do is drag that across, and notice it found our averages for quarter 2 as well, and also for our lowest in class numbers. So that is correct. Okay, so next what we're going to do is go to our highlighting. So highlight this from A9 to C12. That is a range from the top left corner to the bottom right corner for the cell reference, and just choose a different gray so that it separates the two from it. Now what we're going to do is see which classes we pass and fail. So we're going to put P/F for pass or fail, and let's see, right here we're going to put fail 66, because let's just say a 66 is fail. Now let's format that. Command-Shift-R to put that in the, over there, and Command-Shift-L to put that left. So fail is a 66. We're going to Command B, bold that. Okay, we are going to use an if-then equation. It's up in here. You can go to more functions, and it tells you all the equations that you can use. But I already know which equation I'm going to use, so I'm going to put equals and if. And if I click on if, you can see the different options we have for that. So if you see it says if, and it tells you how to write your equation here. So it says if something equals or is greater than or less than, you can do this or that. The first one is if it's true. The second one if it's false. So let's go ahead and make that. So we want to say if this, okay, E5, okay, if E5, and I just click that, and I have a parenthesis, if E5 is greater than or equal to this number, okay, it's better to put always cell references. A cell reference is like B3 or F3. If I just put the number 66, and let's say the school changes the grade policy and says, hey, we made a mistake, it's not 66, it's 65, then you'd have to go in and change all your equations. If we did it, if you just have a cell reference, you can just change that number at any time, and it automatically changes it for you, just like what we did before with these semester averages. So we're going to put a cell reference of 83. So put a comma. So the first one, if it's true. So if that's true, we want to say it's pass, and we're going to use quotations. And if it's false, and then put comma. If it's false, we're going to put fail. So if it's less than that, we're going to put fail. You could also do equations here. Instead of a word, you could put multiply it by 5 or +2 for a bonus point. But we're going to hit enter. So notice it says fail. Well, I'm not failing. The reason is this is the percentage and this is a number. So I need to go in and add a percentage sign to my 66. and now it shows that I pass. You can also test it. Let's say you fail the subject, so let's just put 11. Okay, 49%, that's a fail. So it works. If your equation doesn't work, you need to fix it. Now, if we drag this equation down, it's not going to work. The reason why is because notice here, E5, okay, that's good. If you drag it down, it'll be E6, is which we want, and then E7, and so on, right? So, see, E6, E7. The problem is the cell reference of F3 right here, if we drag that down, it's going to be what? F4. What's F4? It's a number, and then it's a grade, and so it's we don't want this number to be copied down. We want that to stay the same. If we want something to stay the same in the equation and not be copied down, what you can do is hit the $ in front of the F and $ in front of the 3. That way you're telling it, keep those absolute, don't change them, and now we're good. So notice F3 stays the same, E7 F3, E8 F3, so they're the same. So what we're going to do now is put a grade sheet in there, and graph our spots. So notice here we have a graph showing our semester 1 grades, so let's go ahead and do that. For our semester grades, we are going to highlight from A4 to C8. We're going to go to Insert, Chart, and I really like charts. Very visual. Great for science class. There's pie charts, you know, to line charts, but we're just going to be using the standard graph chart or bar chart. So you can decide if you want it this way or this way. I'm going to choose this way. And so it tells us our percentages and our classes. You can customize it with the third tab, and with the chart title you can put semester 1 grades. Okay. And you can choose your font. So go ahead and choose the font that you want to use for that, and you can even choose the background for that. And what I'm going to do here is for the title, on the horizontal I'm going to put classes, and you could put like Y-Day classes or S-Day classes, and go ahead and change your color, change one of the colors to a different color so that I know that you know how to change the color. If you want to change the other one, you hit the *2, and I'm going to change that color. Once you get the chart the way you want it, just hit Insert, and you can see the chart. You can click in this top area and then drag it down right below your information. Another visual thing you can do is insert an image. So you can do Insert Image. You can just Google search a clip art of a grade sheet and just drag that right in there. If it's too big, what you're going to do is go to a corner, and you're going to hold down the Shift key and drag it so that it does not change the ratio. Alright, next we're going to make it look a little bit better now. So let's see, go ahead and select A, B, C, D, E, F, all of these, and you're going to change just one of them. And if you change one of them, it'll change all of them to automatically the same size, because we selected all and we only had to take out one of them. Next, what we're going to do is make it a little bit better. Highlight Algebra 1 and choose any of these light colored ones right here, and then highlight 2 subjects like so, and hit the Format Painter, and then highlight the next 2 subjects. It'll automatically make it like this, so it's a little bit easier to read. Next, what we're going to do is add a conditioning statement. If we fail, we want that to be in red. So let's just fail a class. So I failed history right here. So I'm going to put a 44, and notice that my graph changed with that. Okay, that's what I really like about this graph. So let's just say you got 100 in Spanish. Watch my Spanish grade change. It grew. Yes. So what you're going to do is apply a conditioning statement to these. So go ahead and highlight those and for pass fail, and then go to insert, and we're going to have a format conditioning statement. And in the format conditioning statement, we're going to put if the text is exactly, if it says fail, okay, and you can do a number if a number is greater than or less than a number or so on, but we're going to do fail, and the text color is going to be red. And then I'm going to say, and make sure the range is that right range that we selected. And I'm going to save that rule, and notice it has 1 in red. So make sure you're failing a class, not in real life, but on the spreadsheet, so you can see that if it's failing or not. Then I'm going to put in a note. Put insert, and we're going to put insert comment. I'm going to put need to improve grade, or just put a comment to yourself about that grade that you need to improve by. Okay, so notice the comments you'll see in the top right corner for that. You could also insert a note to yourself. Insert note, and then you can type a note here. Okay, and then notes are in black, and it'll be a nice black here. And then these are notes, and it says who actually created the note. And then next semester, if you do better, you can hit resolve, and then that'll disappear. So whereas this is a little bit just plain old text box. So go ahead and put both those two. So I'm going to undo that one though. Okay, so last thing I want to show you is how, notice grade summary. Let's say we want to center that across our grade sheet right here. Well, to do that, if you click that and hit center, it only centers it on that one cell. So if you want to center across all of these cells, you need to highlight all of them, and we're going to merge the cell, which is this button right here, merge cells, and let's bold that and make that a little bit bigger font, and then you can choose a different font that you want to choose as well. Alright, and then also change the to a different shade so it shows nice and neat. Now we don't really need all of these grid lines anymore, so what we can do is view and unselect the grid lines. Notice that's a little bit more cleaner now. If you put Option Shift 1, okay, it makes it on the top. If you put Option Shift 2, it does a right border. Option Shift 3 does a bottom border, and Option Shift 4 is a left border. To remove all the borders, Option Shift 6, and there's no borders, and we want all borders, so we should do Option Shift 7. If you wanted more borders, you could do this, but it's a little bit bricky, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so there's our grade sheet. And again, if you need to resize cells, you can do that. Let's resize cell 1 to be a little bit bigger. Highlight row 1 and then go ahead and click on this one right here, and we're going to do vertical alignment is middle. So it's right in the middle of that page. Okay, so that's an introduction to spreadsheets. Hope you learned a lot. Hope your grades turn out well. And that was fun learning about jungle animals. Yeah.